So today we're going to deal with one of the bathroom issues, which I already fixed. So this one drives me nuts. So this is my shower. It's off. And it's still going. And it's got this little leak that has slowly just gotten worse. Now I already fixed this, so this kind of annoys me big time. I'm gonna have to fix this again, and the part to fix it was like 60 something bucks if I remember correct. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna actually tear it down again and then fix this again. One of the first things I fixed on this house actually when we bought it. So it's not even been a year now. It's just annoying me. So we're gonna work on this today. So anyway, we're gonna start by turning off the water. Okay, so here's my water main. Okay. And I actually have it turned on right now. I went and turned the water on. I don't know how well you can see this or not. I'm trying to get to where you can see it. See the little gear spinning though? What you can do is there's a gear right here that you have to turn. And when you get it right, you'll actually see your water stop. See, my water actually turned off. That's how I know I got my water off. It's just a half turn. But that's what you want to do to turn your water off. First thing you want to do is pull this handle off, which you need an Allen wrench for. Your Allen wrench will be different things. That's why I use this multi one. Different sizes, I should say. You just kind of pull that out of there. Here we go. Pull the plate off. The ring can actually come right off around it. It's no big deal. There's a little backing on the ring and a whole go that way. And I wanted to see, yeah, this is mown. So yeah, it was a mown. Now, this thing here is where my issue comes in, okay? Now there's a little clip cotter ring thing around it that I've got to pull off. No big deal there. And then this here is my clip, which looks like I am able to get it out without needing special anything. Make sure to pull that clip, because if you don't pull the clip, you're going to have a hell of a time getting that thing out of here. And then, now they make a puller tool that'll pull this out. You may need the puller tool, you may not. Okay, the way this tool works, you can see it here. It actually screws right into there. And this thing comes down. And it goes right over that. And you can just pull straight out. What I'm doing is I'm visually checking this for damage, you know. So what I'm doing is, you can see the metal in there. Just kind of turning that, looking for anything loose in there. Could be causing a problem in terms of any metal, anything. Now the deal is, it does shake, so there is something in there that's loose. But it's that little gear right there, which is kind of how it works mechanically. But you want to make sure everything looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it as far as I can tell. It looks like it's sealing totally, so I don't know why it was not sealing or not shutting off the water unless it just wasn't sealing all the way. I don't see really any issues with it. It looks like the part's fine. These things here are actually fine. So I'm kind of wondering if I even have a problem with this, or if it just got loose or needs reseated, or what's the deal. So I'm actually going to put it back in there and we're going to see how it plays out. Okay, I've looked over my pipe here, which I don't know if y'all can see in there too well or not. It doesn't look like I've got really any damage or anything in there. Everything looks fine, clean. Didn't see any debris coming out of it, nothing like that. So I'm like, I don't know why I got the issue, but apparently I did. So maybe I just didn't seat this all the way. So do a better job of that this time. So what we're going to do is just take this, put it back in here. If you run into the same problem, just get this cartridge. Okay, we're just going to push it in. trying to actually push on the part, not the surrounding area. Just kind of fun and interesting to do with this thing. Okay, so that's seated in there all the way. And if I get it correctly and everything, the clip should go back in there no issue, which it does. You want to make sure the clip goes down all the way. You'll notice it's not down all the way yet. So make sure it goes down all the way. Use this to adjust it real quick. That ought to make it where that goes all the way in, which you can tell it did. So now that's in there all the way. Clips in there all the way. Put this part back on. Put this part back on. So that ought to be the water off all the way. That'll be somewhat on. We're going to go turn our water on and see how we did. Okay, you can hear our water's on. Tub's running. And if we did a good job, so let's get that lined up. Okay, so yeah, it just needed reseated. So you notice it's not dripping. So we didn't have a problem with our cartridge, we just had a problem with it coming loose or something. I don't know if it shifted in there or what. If it continues to drip though, because I know my cartridge is good now, so if it continues to start dripping, what I have to do is replace the actual housing around this. And that's some work. But yeah, that's what I'd actually have to do next. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this back together. Make it look all pretty. Now this is probably the trickiest part in my opinion to the whole thing, is because depending on how your screws line up, this is real easy or real painful. And what I've actually got to do is I got to get these, there's these two little screw holes in the back of this. You can actually see them back in there. I got to hit those, but they're so deep in, I got to get that deep into this thing, which doesn't leave me a lot of room to work with in these because they're so long. It's a pain to get in there, so I'm going to have to fish around there and try to find it. I actually got to shove into the wall something to help me do that. I had it. There, we got it finally. Okay. Once I get started, it's pretty easy, but finding it is like a pain. Now, this part right here, if you'll notice down here, as I shove in, screw these in to hold this. This is why you kind of want to hand do this part as opposed to power tools. Is as you tighten this down, it's going to shove in this wall better more. You'll notice this moving. This part here, right here, is moving. And as I get further back, it's going to pull this out further away too. So I'm actually going to only tighten it down so far, but I want to make sure that it's tight enough that it's not going to come loose. It should be good for that. And you can put this part on. This part is off already, so it goes all the way up against that. And we put our handle back on. Go ahead and stopper your tub when you do this part, because if you miss for whatever reason, you're going to lose this screw. So There you go. And we're done. Shouldn't have any leaks. Shouldn't have any dripping. Yeah, we should be good. Now, let's say we'd found the cartridge to be the problem. We just replaced the cartridge. Would have been no extra deal. Basically, you'd have to replace the cartridge. So, cartridge a lot of times, like this is a Moan. Moan will actually guarantee their cartridges, so it would have been fine. But I think we're good. We'll find out here in a few hours. So, okay, coming back to check on this. It's been a couple hours, and it's all quiet. Sounds beautiful. So we are done. It just needed reseated, so that's pretty much it. Alright, hopefully y'all learned something out of this. Have a good one.